session.
Welcome everyone to the Town of Union City regular municipal board meetings, January 8th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Town Hall, 101 North Elm Avenue, Union City, Oklahoma. Ryan, let's do the prayer, please.
Sure. We stand. Everybody is. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for this town. Thank you for allowing us to arrive here safely and when we depart. Thank you for bringing us all here today so we could do work for this town. Guide and direct us. In your heavenly name I pray. Amen.
Keith?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Bob McGregor.
Present.
Ryan Dawson.
Here.
Keith Dennis.
Here.
Dale Quigley.
Here.
Call to order at 6:01 p.m.
All right. Number 5, consent agenda items. All items under consent are considered by the Town of Union City Board of Trustees to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. Any Board of Trustees member may, however, remove an item from consent agenda by request. Do I have a motion on consent agenda items A, B, C, and D?
I'll make a motion we approve item number 5, A through D.
Have a motion, have a second?
Okay.
Ryan?
Did y'all sign all the checks ahead of time? Everything look good?
Correspondence. The following correspondence is provided to the Board of Trustees for their review and information. Regular monthly bills presented by UC Treasurer Michelle Burns. UC Dispatch 475, Fire Department's 465610. General Fund is $177,664.14. Municipal Authority $44,070.15. Municipal Deposit Funds $200. Police Department $14,957.85. Street and Alley Funds $0. Traffic Bond Refund is $4,414.94. No correspondence from the citizens. Number 7, financial reports. The regular monthly financial reports for all funds are provided to the Board of Trustees for their review and information by Union City Treasurer Michelle Burns.
I provided the financial packet that has all of our banking account information, including the First National and Hope. We have our ACOG report as well on top. December we were not quite as high as November, but a lot higher than October. So we're kind of just going up and down a little bit. Don't have January yet, they've not produced it.
Michelle, in period 12/1/23 to 12/31/23, the only one that I'm noticing off the top of my head,
So December?
yes,
Okay.
that opening ledger was 11/3/17.
On which one? On general?
Yes.
Okay, remember that's because of sweeps.
And the sweeps is what brings it down to 10?
Yes, every
Okay.
time, that's why I make sure I include the total credits, and so
Okay.
you can kind of see what really happened.
Okay, well, I was.
Yeah, no, I get it, yeah, if you look over on the, down below it.
Hello, Tom. Alright, we got you here, we're kinda going over the sweeps and everything. All right, let's move, any questions on that? Alright, number 8, fulfillment of open seat for Board of Trustees. Anyone requesting to be considered for a trustee position, please stand up. State your name and address.
Brett Allnutt, 5600 South Choctaw Street, Union City, Oklahoma.
Chad Fisher, 410 North Cape Boulders, Union City.
I'm assuming you're both voting residents here? Okay. Alright, well, since you went first, I'll ask you, what do you wanna bring to the board?
I think I bring, a lot of knowledge as far as what we could do to help out the area. My kids go to school here. I'm also very hands-on, so, I help set up the, gym, or not the gym, but the playground for the kids, out there. So I like to get involved, make sure that, my time is spent well, and I like to donate my time, so I don't mind helping out.
What would be your goal in being on the board?
Just really, I'd say just to improve the town. I mean, just make sure that residents feel like it's somewhere they can grow up, feel safe, and, you know, if there's something that community wants or needs, you know, do our best to try to make it happen.
All right, what would you bring to the board?
Well, obviously, if you've never served on a board, you don't really know a whole lot about what they do, but, you know, I just progressive, you know. I'm in business, I'm a manager, and a lot of decision-making processes happen, so I was just wanting to talk about, you know, what I could bring to the board as far as my experience in decision-making, our budget, you know, make sure you're fiscally responsible for the budget, et cetera.
And what would be your goal for being on the board?
Just to try to, make the best decisions for the bottom line is just to make the best decision for the city of Union City on, any decisions or votes that come up.
I believe there's one more candidate, wasn't there? Is Samantha Williams here? No? All right, well, you know, we have an opening for this seat because we lost a treasurer member of our board. And, you know, he had a huge impact on our community and all the people that he was around. We're looking to fill that seat with somebody that has the same type of goals, you know, that wants to better our community and wants to just help make the entire community grow together and closer. Any questions from any of you guys?
Can you tell us a little bit about maybe how long y'all lived in Union City and kind of your history here?
I've lived here for about 3 years. Mother and father-in-law are Steve and Tracy Mikaliska, built my house out over here. My wife's a teacher here in town too. So, I know I'll be here for quite a while. Obviously kids in school and built out, but I don't plan on going anywhere, so.
Yeah, we moved here a little over 2 years ago, and, my wife and I, and, we don't, go anywhere either.
You got any questions, Ryan?
No.
All right. Well, I guess let's go to a vote. Tom, how do we, make this vote where it's easy, cheesy, fair?
I think it needs to be a public, a public vote. You need to just call the roll and indicate who each, board member votes for.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Chad Fisher, raise your hand if you vote for Chad Fisher. Chad Fisher, you just got it.
But before you leave though, I wanted to, okay,
Oh, yeah.
you seem like a very good candidate as well, and I just wanted to point out that we do have openings time to time, and we highly encourage, you know,
Okay.
the continued participation coming in. Do we have any openings right now on the planning commission?
Do we have openings? Yes, we do.
Okay,
So, I don't know if that's something you'd be interested in, but we're always looking for people to help with that
okay,
as well.
okay, yeah,
But we need, you know, strong people that are good decision makers to help us with all of those things, so.
Okay.
If you're interested in that, we can really use your help in that
Okay.
as well.
All right, well, I guess take a seat.
Thank you.
Well, no, I'm
Oh,
not.
he has to
Swear in, swear in,
Read the oath for you.
You'll come,
stand up right here.
pardon, come stand right here.
Hold up your right hand, and repeat after me. I, state your name,
Chad Fisher,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and that I will not knowingly
that I will not knowingly
receive directly or indirectly
receive directly or indirectly
any money or other valuable thing
any money or valuable thing
for the performance or non-performance
for the performance or non-performance
of any act or duty pertaining to my office,
of any act or duty pertaining to my office,
other than the compensation allowed by law.
other than the compensation allowed by law.
I further swear
I further swear
that I will faithfully discharge my duties
that I will faithfully discharge my duties
as a trustee of the board
as a trustee of the board
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fine, man.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. Yeah, he goes, he's the top.
That's good, you just read. Sit in your chair.
All right.
Always have to use words. Me, and I'm gonna make
Chad Fisher, Jeffrey
sure
Fisher.
we want to- and then I'm gonna make copies. And there you go. This is yours. It's for tonight, I already passed mine, which is 7. We'll pass this one. Then we're right here. Okay, so let's try with these numbers.
Okay.
You can follow.
Thank you.
All right. So, just so you kinda have the gist of everything that's going on, when you're on board, you're allowed to miss 3 meetings, is that correct?
Yes, 3.
3 meetings per year. So make sure you're here. Also, we will set you up to go to the trustee school. They'll teach you all the things you can and cannot do, and teach you how to stay out of trouble.
All right.
All right, number 9, Department of Union City Code Enforcement.
You guys have my written report. Discussed last month of business licenses, most of my renewals walking in, I'm lacking 2 that are in the process now. The rest of them will be on February report. I have 2 new drilling permits that I'm currently working on, and just finished a lot split application today for Randy and Kenny Carroll's property out here on 152, and it was listed back online this afternoon for sale.
Okay.
Okay, things going in, and the gentlemen are here on the subdivision at 152 in Banner, here to speak to you.
Okay. I'll get to them as quickly as possible. Alright. Any questions on the code enforcement report? No. Alright. This notices of violations with the businesses that are on there. We are, let's see if I can find it right quick. Our ordinances state that any business is supposed to have a business license through the city. I question who makes the decision on what businesses get a permit, which businesses do not. You know what page that was on, Teresa, by any chance?
It spells it out as far as in the different districts, if you look in your code book, under the different zoning, there are multiple pages in there that'll tell you what's allowed in each district, and then it'll also tell you the types of home businesses that are allowed, such as in-home daycares, things like that. And then Bob had me contact the town, look up more information in regards to some specifics on business license that we'll bring back to you guys next month.
Yes,
Any input that you guys have, I would really appreciate between now and then.
right now ours says anybody that holds a business is supposed to have a business license. But everyone around us has a description of which types of businesses require that license. So, we need to figure out what's supposed to be what, we gotta get everybody on the same page.
So our ordinance isn't descriptive enough.
Our ordinance says that everybody has a business is supposed to have a license.
There's some that do not, there's a few that don't, but there are some very specific ones listed, some that will never apply to us. And then there's a really big gray area on a few things.
So the question is, yes, go ahead. Yes.
I have reviewed that ordinance, and as Teresa indicated, it has, and you and I talked about it, there are a number of items that clearly are not, like the circus and the other items that are mentioned in one of those paragraphs. Obviously, those are real old, ordinance references. So, ours is a general, statement about businesses, professions, occupations that require businesses, and it doesn't specify. We can amend that ordinance and specifically delineate those businesses that need to have a license or that the board believes should have a license. I mean, if you're in the auto repair business, I think you need to have a license. If you're in the business of providing certain types of services, you need to have a license, like a daycare. So those are items that I think we could clarify and make more certain and amend that ordinance so that we can not have any question, and there won't be any ambiguity as to whether somebody needs a license or not.
Yes, sir. All right.
I work on that some, Tom, can I send you over the stuff this next month before the meeting, to let you look it over?
Can you hear her, Tom?
Yeah, I did. I think that would be appropriate.
So I have a few specific questions on certain types of services, so to speak, to know how to put the wording in there.
Yeah, if you wanna send that to me, I'd be happy to fix it so that it reads the way I think it ought to read.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. approval, denial, amendment, or revision and acceptance of an interlocal agreement between the Town of Union City, Canadian County District Two, and the Ranch Oak Estate homeowners. They didn't show.
Tom was gonna look over, that first, or check into it.
I believe he was, but I got a phone call from the Ranch Oak Estates representative, and he said he had other obligations that he couldn't make it today.
Okay. So we will table 9A. 9B, purchase of property. Have we gotten any more bids on the property yet?
I reached out to a couple of realtors, neither one were very helpful, so that they would ask some realtor friends, but no one has gotten back with me in
Okay.
regards to
Let's
amount.
table 9.
Mainly because that there's not, as far as commercial property out there.
9C, mobile home subdivision. Consideration of possible approval, denial, amendment, revision, or the acceptance of regarding the proposed mobile home subdivision to be located at Highway 152 and Banner Road on the northwest corner.
We just wanted to get back with y'all, see if y'all were able to find what the road requirements were.
Well, I mean, what are you planning on putting there?
We were planning on doing double wide, since that'd be considered modular, if that's acceptable.
Is modular, is that setting on a
Concrete?
It'd have to be set down on a permanent foundation,
yeah.
Yeah, it'd be strapped to permanent, it'd be FHA approved, so.
and they'll have to rezone it, unless they're going to put them on acreages of at least 5 acres. Cause it's currently ag, and we can't have anything smaller. One home per 5 acres. Have y'all talked about that much as far as what type of rezoning?
We'd really like to keep that layout that we had, if possible. We've got to rezone that to R1, but
Can't do a regular R1, that allows for single wide mobile homes. You could do an R1A, R1A depending on, it's still gonna be septic, correct?
That's correct.
You guys have to know exactly how small it will be able to go.
Yeah, I
And
think
resubmit.
if we could a layout similar to that, like 3/4 acre or larger, that's like under an acre.
Are these rentals?
We had talked about doing rentals, but I think if we end up doing the double wides, it'd probably be a mixture of both. We'd probably sell some and rent some.
I'm a little concerned about the septic he's talking about. Are you meaning like an aerobic system? Or are they gonna dig like a?
If they can perfectly do aerobic, if not, they would be conventional systems.
We have property just to the south of that, and so the water's gonna be running off of that, and having 140 aerobic systems, most likely they won't perk, nothing out there perks. And so having 140 aerobic systems with all that runoff coming across our place could potentially pollute that. And it's gonna run right off into Dry Creek also.
I just know that the DEQ minimum requirement is 3/4 acre, so we're probably, what we stick with it.
It'll also depend on, how much grass and trees and, all that sort of vegetation that can bring that stuff up. If it's all rock and then you have 3/4 acre lots of all rock and you have aerobic systems, there's gonna be obvious runoff.
Now, I have a question now. With it being modular homes, will it still be considered a mobile home subdivision?
So we just have this.
Hey, Tom,
Yeah,
I just wanna kinda address the elephant in the room.
yeah.
And so this question kind of pertains to the power of the board when in regards to rezoning and whether we do or don't accept, mobile home subdivisions. I've reached out to probably at least a dozen people, in the Union City area that I know and trust, and it's relative, and I'm just being open. Most of the people I talk to don't want a mobile home subdivision, of that magnitude. Yeah, and our ordinance specifically says no new mobile home subdivisions.
Yeah,
And
that's
so,
exactly right.
we as the board have the power to basically just take a vote and say whether we do or don't want a subdivision, in the community. Is that correct?
Yeah, my thought, Keith, is that it might be better if the folks that wanna do this submit something in writing that specifically indicates what they propose, how they propose to do it, so that, you know, there's no question about what it is that you guys are gonna make a decision on.
Right, and that's what I'm trying to do, not only to help the individuals who have purchased the property out, but is to kind of just get I don't wanna waste a whole lot of their time. From the 2 meetings we've had with them, it's my understanding right now, I think they're just kind of trying to get a better understanding of what options do they have to put on that property. And so, at the end of the day, I feel like we should just either take a vote, whether we do or do not want a mobile home subdivision within our community, or, like you just said, have them go ahead and submit, you know, drawings and plans of exactly what their intentions are, so then at that time we could vote.
Yeah, I think that's what you've gotta do, because right now your ordinance says you cannot have a mobile home subdivision.
Right, and that's, I just don't wanna waste everybody else's time, you know,
Yeah.
going back and forth.
You know, if they wanna come up with a plan that says we're gonna have, modular homes or something, and we can have a definition of what that is, so that it's not a, quote, mobile home, in other words, not something that's, you can back up to and hook up to something and drag off, and move someplace else, or people can drag in. You know, you can't have that. That's, the
Right.
ordinance prohibits that sort of thing.
Okay. Did you all guys hear him?
Yeah.
So the most important thing at this time would be for you guys to create a plan of exactly what you guys want to do, and then present that to us, and then the board can vote on whether they do or don't want to accept it. 'Cause-
Let's say, that was my question to Tom. Tom, does it need to be handed off to the subdivision committee first?
Yeah, well, I think what they're looking for is some general idea of what might be acceptable, is kind of what I hear them saying. So, obviously, the general concept needs to be presented, and then the subdivision committee can handle the details.
From there.
But the general concept, I think, is what I hear those guys, looking for, is whether the general concept is gonna be approved.
Cause they're gonna have costs associated with, you know, putting that all together and presenting that to us. And the reason I was asking that, now again, I'm just asking because I don't know which direction we should go. Should we go ahead and tentatively vote, and that way they don't waste their time doing that if the board as a whole does not want a mobile home park? And maybe the board does, I don't know, I'm just saying, you know, they go back and spend X number of hours creating these drawings and doing all those things, and still don't know whether or not the board would even support going against our ordinances to allow it.
Well, I think maybe you and I are talking about the same thing, but I think what they need to have is a written proposal. I don't think we're at the submit plans stage.
Okay.
A written proposal that clearly defines what it is that they intend to present to the mobile home subdivision, committee. As to what it is, the concept, maybe that's a better word to use, would be the concept, so that the board itself can say, okay, we'll buy this idea, this concept, now you've gotta come up with the details, or, before you spend a whole bunch of money, we're gonna decide, no, we don't accept this concept, we're not interested in this concept, and let them go on down the road.
Okay, so just have them provide written detail to present to planning commission, and then it'll come to the board after the planning commission decides, and then we can vote yea or nay, and then at that point, they can then go back and work on the engineering and the actual details. Okay.
Would it need to come straight back to you guys first, right, not planning commission?
An opportunity to evaluate that concept, whatever that concept
Okay, and then, forgive me here, because, I was just listening to Teresa's question. Her question was, does it need to come directly back to the board? And then I'm using the words, or I'm thinking in my mind, planning commission, but I do remember we have a subdivision committee, which is different. So which of those three does it need to come directly back to first?
I think the folks that wanna do this would want it to come back to the board
Okay,
first,
okay,
before they spend the money to do what the, subdivision, committee's gonna want them to do.
okay, got it. So if you can just create in detail, writing exactly what you guys think your plans are at this time, and then present that back to the board, and then we can vote yea or nay whether we wanna go with our ordinances or against the ordinances and allow.
So back to your initial question, at the beginning, I think it should be hard surface roads.
Is that concrete or asphalt or chip seal?
I think it, either concrete or asphalt or,
One of those two.
yeah,
Either,
yeah.
y'all have any kind of specs that we could look at, or?
I thought we did have a spec sheet on.
For subdivision, there's a description of that in there.
I'm looking for it right
Yeah,
now.
I think it's a, concrete, asphalt and curb.
I think it says concrete curbs and concrete drives.
Yeah.
All driveways and walkways within a park should have at least a 4-inch concrete with roadway having curbing and proper drainage.
So it's not descriptive on what the roadway is,
the width of it?
consists of, but if you're gonna have concrete curbs, you're either gonna do concrete or you're gonna do asphalt, it's pretty self-explanatory.
So the other places in there, it calls for just a paved surface. Field surface pavement and maintained in such a manner that no dust will be produced by continuing. Two places it's spelled out in there.
I guess we're just kinda confused on what's considered modular, and what, if modular, is that a mobile home subdivision, or is that something?
Basically, no frame, no axles, a stationary home that is either built off location and placed on the concrete pad, or built in place. Is that right, Tom?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So would a double wide would work, or is that?
No, no, 'cause it technically still has a frame and axles underneath it, so that would not work.
Even though it'd be set on a permanent foundation?
It's still a mobile home park, so.
So a modular home would sit on a stem wall.
Right.
Mhm.
So it would have no frame, no anything under it. It's basically a full home that's built in a factory, and it comes and sets down with a crane in two pieces. Kinda like a double wide, but without all the roadwayness.
Meant to be permanent.
I was just curious, cause the manufacturer that we deal with, I think they can do that, I just didn't know. So we just don't need wheels and axles, basically.
No wheels, no axles, no tongues, no metal frame.
No way for it to be picked up and moved, basically, conveniently. I mean, obviously you can move houses, but.
It has to be sitting on a stem wall like a regular home.
It might not hurt to do a perk testing on a few places, to see, kind of know how many foot of lateral you're gonna have,
Yeah,
and just see if it will perk.
yeah.
Now, Tom, he was saying that the EPA requires 3/4 of an acre. Who does he need to contact to make sure that the EPA with the creek and stuff being next to him, blah, 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 if that is still the same?
Yeah, that's, obviously, that's the integral part of that process.
The engineer's report would have all that, correct?
Yeah, I would think,
I'll have to provide that.
Okay. Have y'all gotten with an engineer on that property yet at all?
Yeah, we put it on hold ever since our last meeting. We had started on it, but we weren't sure what was gonna happen going forward, so.
So I think, for me, I think one of the first things I would do is have the engineer give you those numbers. Say, hey, can I have, how many of those were there?
143.
Can I have 143 of those with a creek nearby? And ultimately, the reason there's so many hoops and ladders is to make it to where I mean, it keeps you out of trouble, you know.
Right.
Do you have any questions for him on this, Tom?
No, I think we need to get what they wanna do in writing, and then the board can evaluate it and decide
Okay.
what they wanna do.
So let's start there and just submit something in writing saying, this is what we wanna do, this is what EPA says we can do, this is what the engineer says we can do, and then if it's good, we'll pass it on to the committee and we'll make a decision from there.
The only thing is if we could somehow get an answer on a vote for I guess we got an answer on the modulars.
Yeah.
We just hate to spend the money on the EPA or the engineer.
Yeah, the first thing I would do is just write a detailed report of, you know, of what your intentions are.
Mhm.
Then the board will vote, and then if you get enough yes votes to move forward,
Then we go.
then you go to the engineering.
Yeah.
So that's what I was trying to prevent, is you having any, you know, major expenses out of pocket until the board makes a decision, because I would hate for you to go through all of that, you know, and then not have the votes, but.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, I mean, a full-on modular home won't be a mobile home, you know?
Cause even once the board, let's say you do go with modular, for instance, and that, we approve the rezoning, then you'll have to go through the subdivision committee, and you'll have to meet all the requirements of that subdivision committee, which will be, you know, engineering tests to make sure we don't have runoffs on, you know, other properties and those, all those things. You'll have to, you know, go through those steps even after it's approved, so, and do we have a list of those things that the subcommittee's gonna ask for? Okay, so that's something we can provide for you then.
And whenever you provide this, I would go ahead and provide a plan for one of the modular homes you're looking at.
Yeah, I brought, there's plans of double wide though, so
Yeah.
we're gonna have a plan, different plans of modular, we'll bring them back.
Yeah, the modular ones, they'll bring them in and they basically bring it in on a trailer and then remove the trailer out from under them. And they just set it right over on the stem wall and you have a house.
Yeah, I think the same manufacturer can do that, they just, for some reason, I don't know who it is, but I'll go with them and look at the plans and
Okay.
circle back with them.
All right, sure appreciate you, man.
Yep, thank you guys.
Thank you.
None C, no action.
And then you'll just communicate with Teresa if you wanna be on the agenda for next meeting. Yeah, just
Yeah,
let
I'll let
Teresa
you
know if you have everything done by then, because.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Ordinance number 355, consideration of possible approval, denial, amendment, revision, or acceptance of section 3, article 42D, sale of fireworks, to read the location for the application as code enforcement in Fannin County, New City, the amount to change to $100 from $250. So, you know, that was a very, very, very good point, you know. Why is someone who's in business for 3 weeks, a year, or whatever, why are they paying more than double than any business in town pays for the entire year?
Yeah, 100 is your basic business.
Yes.
I think it should be 50 or 25.
Ryan wants to sell firecrackers.
Thanks, it's only 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You'll have more firecracker stands than you want then, Ryan.
That's all right.
Now, food truck pays us the same amount, correct? And food truck may only be here once.
25 a day, 50 a week, or 100 a year.
They can sell food year round. You can't sell firecrackers year round.
Doesn't mean they're going to. Well, what do you think about moving it over to the food truck rules?
It's 2 weeks. It's open for 2 weeks, and I think it's $100, same price.
Mm-hmm. But it sounds better.
Can I just ask, how many licenses does the same address have to have to?
Say it again?
I mean, how many different business licenses do I have to run out of the storage as well each year? I'm just a simple, I'm just going off the handbook, I'm just asking a serious question.
Yeah.
How many different licenses do I need to pay out of that same building?
I mean, I guess it would be however many businesses you run out of that building.
So if someone rents a unit from me, this is where it gets gray. They can run their business out of that, just an LLC. These are the things I'm talking about when it gets gray.
Mhm.
This is the stuff that gets gray, but you see it coming out of the front door of mine, so it's okay to charge us 4 businesses or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever it
Well,
may be.
and I think my question to you would be is, would you not tell them that, hey, if you're gonna do business out of my building, you need to go get a permit?
It's a plumber. Say it's a guy just like you running your business out of your house. He's renting his shop for me. I'm not gonna tell him to go do anything. He's renting a shop for me. If you're renting a place to park your tools or whatever, that's your job to do it. You have your own LLC. You're just renting a storage for me where you keep all your business stuff there. That's totally a whole different, that's a different outfit. They're renting a unit from me. Do I know what they do for a living? Yes. Do they store everything there? Yes. But that's not my job as a storage unit member to tell them to go, you need to make sure you paid your $100 because you're running a business in town.
No, that wouldn't be your job, it would be their
I'm answering his question.
Yeah, and I
It would
mean,
be up to each business owner, and.
when you said that, I was thinking,
No, that wouldn't be on me, that's what I'm saying.
no, when you said that, I was thinking you were talking about out of your building.
No, out of the actual unit.
Or same question,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
I mean-
saying, it's a gray area.
And I mean,
Well,
that is.
I used to rent a couple storage units in Mustang for just storing my welding machines that we used for demos. But our business location was in Oklahoma City, which is where our actual LLC and all of our tax information went to. That's the only one we would be, I mean, you could have 15 businesses storing stuff in there, and those businesses aren't responsible for anything. But if they, let's say like Bob, for instance, who, his LLC, and I assume his tax information goes to his house here, even though he's storing his tools in Mustang, for instance, he would need a business license in Union City.
I'm not arguing the business,
Yeah.
all I'm asking is how many personally I will have to pay for. Me, I get it, because I'm
The
not
only
saying.
businesses you'll have to pay for are your personal businesses.
Right.
So so, again, 2 weeks, a year, I'll pay $100 to sell for this 2 weeks. Again, I'll pay $100 to sell, same building, same storage unit, no difference, I'll pay another $100 to run my storage business. Then if someone rents that through the other time, they're gonna have to pay another $100. I mean, it's just taxation. I get it, permit's a permit, but what I'm asking, at one license, how many are we gonna collect? And I'm fine with it, I've paid the $250 for 10 years. I think it's ridiculous, but how many addresses, or if we're gonna locate them on business? I just think my question is back to that. That's why that needs revamped, because there's a lot of LLCs that make a lot more, that do more services than I do.
Mm-hmm.
But just because I'm streetwide sitting on there, it's a business and it has more, I mean, we're not basing on income, so those are the questions I'm asking when I'm saying how many licenses are gonna have to come out of one business. Because there's people that go shop different things and open storage units in different towns and have garage sales out of them every weekend. And that's how they make their living. I'm just saying, and if I decide to rent my building out, there's another business.
I'm kind of trying to figure out, can your fireworks operate under your storage unit license?
No, I get it, I do it, I have to do a different license for that, for the state. There's a different taxation.
Whoever rents your building for their business.
There's a different tax
Will either move their license.
license to that address or whatever. I mean, I get it, I just, the nickel and diming and getting it, at some point we have to have, okay, just like she said, well, you're saying, well, I can't sell fireworks, I can sell them more than 2 weeks, I can sell them, I think there's a week over New Year's Eve, so I can actually, if I wanted to, but it's not worth selling for the week out here. And I don't think it's legal to shoot this week over here, so I wouldn't be worth selling anyway. But it's just,
Somebody was buying them.
they opened up a banner I saw them when I was getting off the peak house, they had them open a banner selling.
they did the $50 a week for 2 weeks, it's gonna cost him $100.
Still $100 business.
Still, yeah,
Still
still
$100
$100
business.
for 2 weeks for a year. I think it's pretty long.
Right. I mean, it's still, not gonna argue, it's better than $250, it's been there 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with matching the food trucks. I think it's fair.
Well, so we have this set up on here, Tom, as changing the amount from $100 to $250.
From $250 to
I mean, from $250 to $100, yeah. Can we amend that as we do it and say to match the food trucks?
You're gonna do that, you might as well vote 100, it's the same thing, save it, vote $100 and just make it simple, if you're gonna vote that way. Because you can't, legally, we can't pop them anytime in this town outside those 2 weeks, so why would we promote selling them anytime out of 2 weeks inside this town? That's just a stupid guy sitting on this side of the table.
Well, I guess
That's what I was saying earlier, I think in order to clarify and eliminate any ambiguity in what licenses are required, we can amend the overall ordinance so that, people will know, and, you know, maybe that's the time to actually do this reduction of this one from 250 to 100, and have that in like a comprehensive amendment to the section 3
Okay.
requirements.
Okay. All right, well, we'll table it. Moving on.
And you and Teresa are working on that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, number 10, Union City Police.
Got one little eye on my report. I said all vehicles in service, no maintenance issues, and survey said that was a lie, 3 days later. So, got one in the shop. Other than that, all vehicles are running and gunning.
Which officers ended up with the new ones?
That'd be Officer Ishmael and Officer Weingartner.
They like them so far?
Doing real well.
Any questions? Ryan? Move. All right, 10A. Hire a new officer. Consideration, possible approval, denial, amendment, revision, or acceptance of hiring one full-time officer.
So currently I'm quite a bit under budget on the payroll side, and I wanted to ask permission to go ahead and hire someone, get them in the mix and training before July, instead of waiting until July where we have to try to play catch up for the next academy if we hire someone uncertified. But it gives us time to, I mean, it's 7-8 months before we get someone on the streets by themselves, so
How many police officers do we have in total right now?
9 plus me.
That's full-time?
And how many part-timers?
3.
And how are we at the position where we're needing to hire another officer?
Just another catch-all for vacations and leaves and sickness and all that stuff. You know, minimum staffing is a huge thing, and when we've been operating under minimum staffing for the last however long, it puts a number on guys whenever they're having to work a lot of overtime, when there's sickness or vacations or schools and stuff like that that comes out. This puts us, you know, perfect with staffing where, you know, we can cover all that stuff, and we're just not gonna put a damper on anything.
So, I mean, if we're running into this situation, is this a moment where we need to bring Gloucester back home?
We're not running into the situation, I'm saying I'm trying to get ahead of the curve.
Okay.
So two of those guys currently are for Banner and Union City good, right?
One full-time, one part-time voter.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to hire the police officer.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I will abstain, I don't think we need that.
Very well.
But, you get one. Motion approved. Number 11, Department of Union City Fire.
All right, just a quick rundown of 2023. It was actually, you don't like to say this word, but down here, as far as total calls, which is good, I guess. It was 207 total calls. Still plenty busy, 25, required trainings. There was more trainings than that, but not all
I
required.
would say, don't y'all do one every Tuesday?
No, just the first 2 Tuesdays of the month.
Oh, okay.
And then there's some different, things that we do that, we don't require them to be there, but if it's, say some oil field police wants to come in and train us or something like that. For instance, I made 34 out of 5, so, but, just to let you know that, the guys are very busy and appreciated, and that's a ton of time out of your house at 2 AM or whatever to go do CPR on a guy you've known forever or something like that, so when you see a fireman, thank them, because it's a big thing. Overall, just kind of normal stuff, nothing particular. It's been, luckily staying fairly wet, so, off and on, so.
We got really wet last night.
Yeah,
Did
3/4.
the guns change?
Huh?
Did you see any changes to the guns? That's good. That's good.
Speaking of, have you let that out?
Season green?
Uh-huh.
I can start releasing November the 1st until April the 30th, but I didn't have to release until I waited till January. Jenny gets mad at me because there's a lot more paperwork. So I waited as long as I could, but getting them down for slowly, that way it's ready for the spring rain, so to speak, at the beginning. That's on fire.
All right, Department of Union City Emergency Management.
Nothing to report, he said, everything's working fine.
All right, number 13, Department of Union City Water Sewer.
So, we submitted the paperwork to hopefully, get out the consent for the thing that we went to a couple of years and a half ago, whatever it was. So we've met all the guidelines on that, we've had all the manholes resealed, which we really hadn't had a flood, but we've had some rain, and so far it's been nothing. It's not gonna be 100% yet, but it's gonna be real close. We're gonna have to get some big rains and start to see if we got any more, but as of right now, we're looking really good. This paperwork is submitted to DEQ, waiting on their approval now. Then it'll come back to y'all to go out for bid, remember, for the fixing the last 2 lagoons from 3 to 4.
Yeah.
So, REAP grant, yeah. So, that's been approved.
Can we not just get Hunter in some
Double.
overalls and just send him
Call
out
Russell.
here?
Actually, he's had to do that before, because when we change those boards, that's the only way to do it.
Is it?
Get down there with it, so, as soon as that's approved, then, it'll go out for bid,
Okay.
and then, ultimately, the board will pick the bid winner, so to speak, but that'll be a little ways down, and we're waiting on DEQ right now. As far as, they have to approve his drawings to be submitted for bid, so that's where we're at on that part. But, and then, on the water side, our numbers on TTHMs have been high. And, long story short, I got a phone call from Keystone Water the other day, and their numbers have dropped, like 60-something points. And putting 2 and 2 together and talking with DEQ, basically they've been really short-staffed. And it looks like the samples have been sitting there for a while. They got their sample done in 7 days, and their numbers went from 130s like ours to the 60s and 70s. I did a, non-compliant test the other day, which means we get a test done, doesn't count for us, doesn't count against us, it's just, hey, check this for me, see where I'm at. And we were in the 70s, 80s the limit, so, they got it back to me in 6 days or whatever it was, so, I ain't saying that the whole time it's been their problem, but it kinda sounds that way. So, I do the real test the week of the 22nd, but I think we were chasing our tails for nothing, cause it sounded like they were the ones dropping the ball, and they admitted that. So for staff, it was taking them 8 to 10 weeks to get the samples tested. And the whole thing with the test is how long age of the water. There's supposed to be things in those bottles to keep that from happening, but I don't know. I mean, it's
Temperature too.
Yeah, we take them in ice, and so
Like
we
in the
set out.
summer months, it'll be higher.
Yeah. But we went from 133 to 77, so, it was a huge drop, so I'm assuming that's gonna continue and we'll be fine on that.
Awesome. Number 14, animal control.
So, been busy, I got some numbers from just in 2023, believe it or not, we had 39 strays come through that I rehomed, which doesn't sound like a lot, that's a lot of dogs. That's not the ones we picked up and returned to their owner, that's strictly strays that we rehomed and, or 2 or 3 that we had to put down, but not many. So, animal control is really busier than you think, but, anyway,
What do other towns do in regards to cats? Cause our cat problem's way worse than our dog problem.
same thing, there's really nothing you can do, I mean, I've talked to different towns,
They don't do trapping programs or anything?
no, we can do it, we're just gonna get loose, so, I mean, I've talked to 2 or 3 towns, like, people will bring them in or something, they'll take them, like Paris El Reno, but they don't go out and trap them. And, 'cause
They are pretty popular.
you trap the neighbor's cat,
Man, it's so bad.
you know, you've been there, you trap the neighbor's cat, they're gonna come get it, turn it loose anyway.
Yeah, well, we gotta start finding those.
You know, or just technically don't.
Don't bring them up.
You know, we can look at something, or try to figure out something, I don't know what that'd be other than,
I can leave my house if it's dark in the morning and I can count 5 to 10 cats before I get to.
and the problem with that is, cats are like rabbits. They, we could catch everyone in town in 6 months and be back like it
That's
is.
why I think you have to have some kind of active program.
Yeah, I don't know what that would be, you know, I'm open for
Yeah.
suggestions or whatever.
Many cities, they trap them, and some people come in, spay and neuter them, and clip their ear and put them back out.
Let them go.
And then you got a bunch of one-eared cats running.
Well, here's an example, I had a guy stop me the other day, we were over here, and, what are you gonna do with these cats around here? I said, where were they at? He said, well, we had these cats come up about 2 years ago, and we've been feeding them, and they've been having babies. I'm like, well, you took them in, I don't know, get them fixed. I mean, so, 'cause they'll breed several times a year, you know, so.
Bob Barker said it best.
Oh, goodness, all right, number 15, streets and alley.
Not really much report there, as you're aware, the Highway 152, they're supposed to start on any time, which obviously, when you see them doing it 59th, that'll be the first step, so. We'll see, when they start paving it.
Is Banner completed?
I believe there's a little bit of hit and miss, but yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Just gotta paint it.
And then we're gonna get them the full way, drop the speed limit to 45.
And I don't know if they did or not, but somebody called me the other day and asked if they were gonna put the rumble strips in on Banner.
Supposed to put them back in at the south side.
I don't know if that happened or not.
Not yet.
Yep, that's something I do after they're done. What he told me. They bring a machine in and do that particular, you know. If it's not done already, I haven't been down there.
I haven't been down there.
It's not
It's
done.
not done,
Question,
Yeah.
on the streets part. Where we turn at 59th, right by Love, between 152 and Choctaw, there is no speed limit sign on that road. So, it is right past 59th, there's a 35, there's no speed limit sign on that road.
On
59th? On 59th, between where you turn at Love on 152, or on 81, sorry, 81, over to Choctaw, there's no speed limit sign.
Yeah, there used to be a 45 sign there.
Yeah,
I have no idea, I have no idea what speed limit it is there.
I think any county road
I
that's
lived
not
out.
posted is 45.
Yeah.
There used to be a sign there, I'll have to check.
Well, that's a county
I
thing.
figured
what we
from the
did.
gym.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to call the county for that, in that, corner right there between the gym and, 59th, I forget the name of that street. Maple and 59th, there's a hole that's forming right there in that corner that will bottom out a small car, but. Yeah, I'm in a truck and it'll cut that
Well,
corner
that
tight.
corner,
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
It's getting deep, yeah.
And then the loose gravel or the pea gravel that was laid down, I don't know if there's something you do to avoid that next year, I mean, if it's laid down again.
Yeah, when they do that,
forms
when they do that chip and seal, it'll pile
Yeah,
up in
that's
that
a big
corner.
grab.
You hit that in the motorcycle and you're gonna eat your ditch.
Yeah.
County does our road, they're.
If I wasn't sure
Yeah.
who did that, and personally who does 59,
County.
is that county?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're pretty responsive
I'll take it
when we call them in.
No, we can,
They
you can
usually-
raise us, we can go to them, but ultimately, they're responsible for all the roads.
Yeah, but
Okay.
they usually do a really good job.
Well, for chip sealing is what I was thinking for
Yeah,
my road, 59 between.
We got the shovel in the back, though, that's.
59 to 44,
yeah.
just the rust and everything like that, I mean, between me and the brick plant.
Also, water, we did municipal yet? I don't even know, I don't have the right deal.
Do what?
Have you called municipal even yet? You haven't done it yet, have you? Okay, never mind. Either way, we've been talking about water sewer and needing time yet, so.
Oh, you got the municipal.
Yeah, it's not on here.
You were
Okay.
curious, well.
I'm good.
What's your question?
No, I was just gonna update you, but, the new generator is here, installed and running, and the old generator is up there, it's not installed yet, totally, but it is getting installed.
And it's going to station 2?
No, it's going to the water tower.
I was going to water tower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Real quick, so, they used to call me in, say, run me out of tank, no problem, you know, cause it runs on propane. Well, the new place they won't rent us one for the $100 a year because the generator doesn't use enough gas to justify it, so they wanna sell us one for $4,000. So, the one at the fire station's, believe it or not, on propane, cause back when we built it, we didn't have gas. I'm gonna get him to switch it to natural gas, then we'll move that one over there, that's what I'm trying to get at. So, cause there is natural gas there, so. Anyway.
Also, one thing I forgot to mention, we've been working with Oklahoma City on getting on their, radio network. We're almost there, sent in a request, what was that, Thursday, Friday, for radios, and they're gonna donate all the radios for us, and it'll just be a monthly fee that we'll have to be on the Oklahoma City system, which includes radio maintenance and everything else with them, so it's gonna be a heck of a deal. It's probably, what, $700,000 worth of equipment.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, the ones that go in your vehicle are close to 10,000, the handhelds are close to 6 or 7, so, and we're getting them free.
And that'll replace the existing one you're using now.
And then what do you do?
Interoperability, we'll be able to talk to everybody.
Right now, we're on an island, man. Going to fire, or they're gonna call, can't talk to county, can't talk to El Reno, can't talk to Yukon, can't talk to Mustang, can't talk to anybody. Cause they're on the 800 system. I don't know what that means, other than the 800 system, but,
Are you guys on FirstNet? Is that what you're?
well, it'd be awesome once it's done.
Good.
Good. All right, number 16, town clerk treasurer.
Still working on 2020. I got refunds coming back for municipal and general. Still working with OESC, which is Oklahoma Employment Security Commission, for that time frame. So there should be some more refunds coming back in, but we have accomplished straightening out most of 2020. We're now on 2021, and we're still working through it, still submitting. They're working with me, I'm working with them, we're on the phone, we're on the, email. I don't know what we're getting back on that one yet. They're still gonna touch base with me, they're still running it through. Kind of a delay because we are again in tax season. So, we may not find out about 2021 until about March or so. But I haven't stopped working on getting it all straightened out so we can get our taxes correct. OKTAX, Oklahoma Taxpayer Access Point. I have finished 2 ends of quarter corrections showing that the general department should receive $809.45. That's from the state. So that's another department that we're getting money back from. And I'm still working on the municipal side with the state. Municipal is not as damaged as far as the general department was, but there's still some that's gonna come back. We just don't know the amount yet. We can only do one side at a time. ACOG, we went over that at the beginning. That's just part of our paperwork, what it showed. ARPA funds, they'll have the breakdown for that. Nothing's changed on it. I did the end of quarter. It's attached. I broke it down for you on the paperwork, how many employees, how much we paid out in salaries, and how much we paid for just payroll in general. I got all that done. Second page, I had the state broken down from the end of the quarter, so you can see what that is. I have year end done as well. And lastly, I have banking for general, street and alley, and capital improvement. The main thing I want to point out, though, is capital improvement is growing tremendously. I now have the amounts are equal at both banks. So make sure if you're looking through numbers, you see that you need to add them together. And I did that for you on that very last line. You can see what the total is. The streets and alley is growing a lot as well. I've been making sure I don't spend a whole lot out of streets and alley, and we haven't really utilized it as much because it's not mowing season, it's not weed eating, gases, but I have been paying utilities out of streets and alley, and we're still sitting at 9,000, which is a lot more than when I started, so.
We'll leave it there, 'cause next week you're gonna get cold.
I'm hoping to keep building it up so that when summer hits, we don't get where I feel like I've gotta use general to pay for utilities. General funds, it's just flowing, it's just going, there's no backlog on it at all. We go up, we go down, we go up, we go down, and it's just, we get money in and we pay out, so nothing really big to report on general funds.
Alright, now for the heartbreak.
Oh.
16A, Lexmark printer. Consideration and possible approval, denial, amendment, revision, or the acceptance of purchasing a Lexmark CX920 series printer for a cost of up to $12,000 out of ARPA funds.
You have in your packet why it costs that to upgrade.
Will this thing communicate to you at home and while you're on vacation?
They will actually.
You ought to wipe your tail.
Oh, this
Oh
one's built
my
for planet
goodness.
Earth, that's what it is.
It will actually help the water department. It trifolds, it prints out without that perfect line on it.
It trifolds.
It trifolds.
What is that?
Like
actually,
Oh,
I
it's
gotta
on
do
the
the
picture.
envelope, and then we got the envelope thing over there, so it just has to have Gina and Jamie
Wow.
and Teresa, they actually have freedom from it.
Does that come with like full service for 36,000 miles or what?
You know, I don't know, I didn't read that far, but I know it prints 160
It says find an
sites per
authorized
minute.
dealer, that's what
Oh,
it
okay.
says.
Is this the only one you found?
Do we get state pricing on that stuff?
Yes, yes, and I'm asking for it out of ARPA funds, cause we still haven't.
1 year on-site service.
Mhm. I am planning on, if you look at, I think it's the last page,
Is your tech guy,
yes,
is he involved in this at all or
Oh,
no?
no.
Does he,
he has,
would he have any,
Patrick has discussed.
network, that's it.
yeah, he doesn't have, Patrick, don't have any advice to us on that stuff?
He
or-
actually did have advice
Oh,
to
he did?
me,
Okay.
yes, he liked how it ran, how it was gonna look, because I can go into the computer, in my computer right now, and I can change emails and passwords, things like that, which I don't, by the way, I just changed the email, but this particular one will give, if I let's say I set up Chief over here as an administrator on it. Then if he is out and I'm out and something happens, he can remote in and just by doing it. He can fix whatever, or I can fix whatever. Patrick could fix whatever, but I'm
Paper
wanting.
jam?
Paper jam.
How are you gonna fix the paper jam from Hawaii?
I call BS.
I wanna purchase it from Fazell, which is who we purchased this one from, because they do have maintenance guys that can come out really easily, and they've always been really good to us about, I can call them and they're out within 24 to 48 hours fixing whatever I need fixed. The problem is, even with their own advice, the problem with that one is we're outdated. We have software in our systems that are updated, and that one's just sitting right at
How much, remind me how much money is left in ARPA funds? Do you know?
It's on, ARPA funds, we have $323,673,043 what? No, we have.
I need some more
I
stuff.
don't wanna touch check 2, which if you recall, we voted that it would be the fire department.
Yep.
898.
That's what I'm asking, okay.
I don't wanna touch check 3, I need to spend
Hold
what
on, and
check
remind me what
1
the amounts were for those 2 checks?
108, okay, check 1 is now sitting at $130,229.14.
That's check 1,
That's check 1.
okay?
Check 2 is $898.53.
800 and,
898.53.
okay.
And then check 3 is $188,365.76.
And David's check too.
David gives check 2.
I think you got short end
Yeah.
of the deal.
I don't wanna read like I did. And this money has to be spent by when?
I have to reconfirm. Yeah,
Huh? Yeah, oh, and not the 26, okay.
yeah.
It has to be, I mean, you have to,
Well, we're gonna use check 3 to
Yeah,
help the sewer
yeah.
improvements too.
No, I know, yeah, that's fine.
And
project.
part of check 1, which I budgeted in, is, remember we voted to spend it on the auditor. And so I considered that in that amount as well.
Which, the initial auditor was how much again? I'm trying to remember, 50?
I don't remember either, honestly, I'd have to go back and look at it. I do have an update on the auditor, by the way, since we spoke about auditor. One of them quit, not us, the company that we have, so it's down to Mandy, Fisher, only one. So she is having to pull both sides now, so it's going a little bit slow.
Is that your cousin?
Oh, I just got it, it's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, why is there a relation there?
Yeah.
Man, that's,
So,
someone needs to open up a city auditor business.
right, it's
Probably
hard to
reason they
find
don't.
people who
Yeah.
are licensed to do municipalities.
Huh?
It's hard to find people who are licensed to do a municipality.
I don't
Yeah,
want
well,
to.
who wants, a lot of people know better than to get licensed to do a municipality.
So is this the only bid you got on this here unit?
It's the only one I needed right
It's
now.
state pricing, so state pricing's the same no matter who we
I
buy
didn't
it
know
from.
there was like options.
Oh.
There
Well,
is,
that's-
you get back to the back, you can buy a stapler.
Well,
You got different printer, but the
No.
same printer, we can make price here.
Yeah,
compare
what
what's-
the point is, it's like
Yeah,
the
most
exact
companies,
same that we have now.
they
If
provide-
something goes wrong, I call them.
like, my work, we have like 6, and they, for the first year, they cover any and all maintenance and upkeep, and after that, there's a service fee that goes along with it every single month after
Now
that.
charging me, which is one of the things that we're purchasing
Yeah.
from the same
And
company.
then you're on
site service.
So we just
Is that what it
keep
says?
going with
Yeah, that's how
that.
most of them work, and then they hit you with them,
I
you know,
checked all
and that's what they want, they, ink cartridges and the
Yeah.
service, they care less about, most of the time, the markup on the printers is like 10-12% over their cost, so what they're going after is the maintenance fees and the ink cartridges, that's where they make their money at, and they rate it from.
And they can take that one for a
Oh,
boat
yeah.
anchor.
Huh?
And they can take that one for a boat anchor.
Yeah, that's why all them printers in Walmart sell for $50, $99, is because they don't.
That's what I'm talking
that's not what
about.
they're after.
Give them a little t-shirt holder.
Yeah.
Man, we can get a whole bunch of those from Walmart for that much. Man.
1,200 up.
Alright, do I have a motion?
What are you gonna do with the old one? Will it be, sold?
We might put it in Gina's office.
There you go.
No, kidding, I'm kidding.
Adam, you use the same printer you walk from over there to here? Oh, you have your own over there?
We'll
What's
probably-
yours cost?
Best deal at
Shirley just does the water bills, right?
No, it's my main printer.
Is that
It's
Prince water
main
bills?
for,
or-
it prints everything I need to print for me, for this department, and then they use it for water bills, and she uses it for mass printing.
Otherwise, I'd have to go to printer mile.
Yeah, anytime they have a lot to print, they use that one, because the ones in there, yeah.
Will it fit in the spot?
It depends
With a
on,
sledgehammer.
it depends on what happens with other things that are coming up, but for now, yes. Because David will happily come tear that up for me to fix it.
I built that, I don't want that.
I know, you can take it back out.
All right. Motion? Anybody?
We need to know what account it's coming out of.
Coming out of ARPA.
ARPA,
ARPA funds,
So
it's gonna
no
be,
matter what
yeah,
check?
it won't come out of any of the budget, they're gonna the,
I mean, if you would prefer it, I could do it out of capital improvement.
Too bad.
I mean, you've got plenty
We're
in
saving that
capital
money.
improvement.
we got buildings to build.
Okay.
Now, what's the rest of the check one going to?
But it needs to happen.
Well, we're using, and don't hold me to this, I wanna say 50 or 55,000, it seemed like, for the auditor, the initial start of the auditor. But none of them seem to be able to get much past a few months of work, and then they quit us anyway, but, so, and you haven't paid that yet
Mm-mm.
with them,
No,
okay?
haven't paid them anything yet.
Okay, so, picture that with 8 months, 12, 68.
So the way it is now, it prints out the water bills and then you have to trifold them yourself.
We have to
Yeah.
fold them.
Folding party.
And not only does it print out the water bill, you can barely read some of them, because it
Yeah.
messes up in the middle. And sometimes you get this extra couple of lines on it,
What
that
was
go
the-
up and down.
What was the lead time on the ash that's getting built? I forgot that.
We got a preliminary this past week, so we should be a couple weeks out.
Is it possible to go, for some people that choose to go paperless, if they choose to, with that new app order? To where we can stop mailing
That's
to
all,
people?
it wouldn't be on the app, it'd be on their utility software, on it.
Yeah, I'm looking at meeting with these people, see what all they offer, but I haven't
I
had time.
might ask that question, because that's another way we can save by
I wish
going.
to explain it, I thought they could go on and look at it. Yeah.
Trying to make it where they can log on and see their amount and everything, just like
Right,
any
yeah,
other bill.
yeah, that's what would be best, and then people can,
I was gonna meet with them and I just haven't had time, so hopefully this month I'll be able to see, and no more next month.
So does this come with the 5,500 sheets of paper?
No,
Well, hold it.
I gotta buy paper. But at least I can buy one ream of paper and not have to redo it, cause it's printing lines all over it.
You say that
It
now?
doesn't come with a
I
year
have
of maintenance or
witnesses that
anything.
this printer is the best.
hey, Tom,
It prints all on its own.
because it's state pricing, we don't have to go out for bids, correct? We can just approve up to
That's correct, yeah.
a specific amount. Okay. I make a motion, we approve 16A to an amount up to $12,000 coming out of ARPA funds, check number 1.
Got a motion, do I have a second?
Yeah, second.
Got a motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
When you pick out a company, like, most of them, they cover everything for 12 months, and then they start a monthly service fee after that. You might double check, which with each company, you might pick up 2 or 3, and then see what those monthly charges are gonna be, because that's where they get you, it's for the ink cartridges and
Yeah.
the service upkeep of the
Okay.
machine.
16B, amended pledge securities, consideration possible approval, denial, amendment, revision, or acceptance of the First National Bank and Trust Amendment to the Master Agreement for Safekeeping Pledge Securities.
It's sweet, and it's just amending because we're in 2024. They just have to have their stuff updated like everybody else.
So if we say yes, y'all gonna make us more money?
It's fine.
I can try.
You did review it, Tom, and we're good?
Yes, sounds good.
Okay, I make a motion, we approve 16B.
Motion, and a second?
Yeah, second.
Motion and a second, all those in favor? Aye. Motion approved. 17, Department of Human Resources.
W-4s for 2024 are out and getting signed by everybody and updated, so I can have them all turned in, make any adjustments to payroll that needs to happen. W-2s, I have Gina as my second set of eyes, and we're working on that. We're going to hit the 25th to get our W-2s out to all the employees. We're struggling right now because they have made it to where W-2s have to be done electronically, and they're wanting our personal information to get on the Social Security site instead of just going with business. And so we're working that out. I'm having trouble personally getting on even on my personal side, so I will be going directly to the Social Security Administration in Oklahoma City.
So you're getting close to getting Social Security?
I hope so. That would be great. I can convince some of that.
But I am not.
So I did seek help and come to find out it's not just me, it's what they want. They want your personal information, and I do not approve of crossing my personal with business to send out W-2s for municipality. So I'm trying to work that out with them, but our goal is to do it on the 25th.
Okay. All right, 17A, 2024 calendar. Consideration and possible approval, denial, amendment, revision, or the acceptance of all Town of Union City calendar activities and holidays with office closure to include State of Oklahoma holidays, federal holidays, Union City events.
Normally, I approach you with each one of these all year long. And so this time, I decided, let's give this a try, where we just approve at the beginning, so we don't have to do this every month.
I didn't know we had Columbus Day anymore.
I didn't learn that either until recently, but I saw on federal where it still showed up. I think I put it on there for you. I think I have paperwork.
I'd make a motion to approve the state holiday list by Mr. Stitt.
There it is. I knew I included that.
Y'all pay me. I'll second that, please.
Motion and a second.
We don't have to do them individually, we gotta do them.
So you gonna make me do this all year long, all these all year long?
What? I told you,
Are you
that's what you're gonna put
approving-
on the calendar, that's when you're gonna be off.
Are you approving?
No, she wants all
I need
federal
all of
and Union
this
City
approved.
state.
Oh, I'm
Not
talking
just
state.
the state.
Okay, federal's good.
Well, it was approved like Halloween,
Columbus
all that,
Day.
so we can get it out there.
Columbus Day is a part of our policy book.
And look at this, Christmas ain't on December 23rd.
No, Christmas is on the 24th and 25th, but I'm asking the 23rd as well.
He wasn't even in bed on the 24th.
The 25th.
This year, the.
23rd, 24th,
20
25th, that's according to the state policy?
Yeah, that's
No,
3 days.
state's 23rd, so 4th and 5th.
Yeah.
23rd,
I don't think we should be close to that. Our days, people can't come to work that day.
falls on a Friday.
Some of me, 'cause I don't.
If you approve this, you're gonna.
Yeah.
There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 paid holidays.
Yeah.
Have we done federal holidays in the past? I thought we only did the
No.
state.
No, no.
Yeah.
We usually, you have to approve state because of the governor said so.
Yeah.
And I just wanted you to know what they were.
Yeah, the state doesn't approve.
Federal, I just wanted you to know what federal is showing in case you wanna let us have some federal. Columbus Day is already a part of our policy book. The thing is, if you approve the federal holidays, then I need to amend the policy book to reflect. Because Washington's birthday is not actually the same day as President's Day.
So, follow the policy book.
I wanna save
But I think a lot of companies scratch Columbus Day from Martin Luther King Day.
Well, they're both in our policy
I work
though.
all day.
I'm gonna work on all of them.
Rigid.
You too. Some point,
Sir, you asked, oh, that's an event, never mind.
I'm pretty good with
Our
the state
event-
fair, but the 23rd on Christmas, that's,
Yeah, 23rd
Yeah.
shouldn't be.
No, snow days.
I will tell you why I put the
Can't
twenty-third.
make it.
It's a Monday.
Exactly, but when is Christmas? And
So when
Christmas
is the
Eve,
Wednesday?
Christmas
Yeah.
Eve and Christmas Day are in the middle of the week.
Yeah, we.
If you travel for Christmas, you've gotta come back for one day and then you're off again. So we have.
But them are days that we're not collecting money, we're not collecting speeding tickets, we're not collecting any of those things.
All of these days that I have on here are low traffic days. We seldom have people in to
The-
begin with.
the
And then,
employees
so
vote
you
for
would be
Christmas.
running light,
Christmas Eve and Christmas,
Yeah, the state does.
and then does the state do 28th and 29th as well?
yes.
So does my motion
Those
fail?
are already,
We're still trying to get there.
1, 2, 3,
all right, Christmas Eve was a fun day.
8, 9, 10. If you approve the state minus the 23rd, you're doing 10 holidays, which is pretty standard. You add the 23rd and federal holidays, you're at 14 days.
I like the state.
Yeah, I like the state, but state minus 23rd, cause the Columbus Day is already in the employee handbook. That still puts it at 11 days with the Columbus Day, it's in our current handbook.
The state didn't get that, do they?
The state does not get Columbus Day, no, but it's in our current handbook, so if you took that away, it'd have to be
we have to amend the
amend
policy
it to
book and
subtract
have
that
to.
day.
Now, under Union City events, the December 23rd one is down there, if you want to deny that one. But what was brought up to me was if you don't want to approve it as a paid holiday, then we want to know if it can be an office closure, and we would just take it on ourselves. No pay, just close.
That doesn't bother me, but I'm personally good with
Here's
10
my-
Because
10
notice
holidays.
it says with office closure, it doesn't say paid.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if it's the money we're worried about is bringing in money, if they're gone, they ain't getting that money either way.
Dropbox.
Well, and that's the thing, I think we tend to forget, there are a lot of ways for them to pay all that. Even if it's a citation, they can drop it in the Dropbox, they can pay online, they can call a number and pay it.
Well, she's good.
It's
Man,
not,
what are we getting 40 hours for? Come on, people back to part-time. No, I get it,
but it doesn't, I didn't say that you were gonna pay it, it said, it just says with office closure.
Yeah.
Now, the paid ones, we know what we're gonna get paid for, cause state's already, you know, and then we have Columbus is in the policy book, we know which ones we get paid for.
The state's got more money than us. I say we match state.
As far as pay,
Here's your
See.
policy approved.
Huh?
you gotta be specific, cause I didn't say for pay, I said office closure, I'm asking to close the office. So are you saying match state with pay?
No, match the state with how many days off we get.
Okay.
That's where I'm comfortable, but anybody can make a motion.
Do you have any
Well, that'd be
thoughts,
What
optional
about
if
the
they
Union
didn't wanna
City
take
event?
off.
Yeah, they still can take off the 23rd, and I personally am okay with closing the office on the 23rd, but it would be, they'd have to use vacation time on the 23rd in order to do that.
Yeah, if that was a non-paid day off, then it's at least your option too, to come to work or not come to work.
Correct.
7:30.
Oh.
All right, well,
Then court, I also please don't forget to look at the Union City events. That's all year long, these are things that we ask about all year long, and they happen all the time.
And these are gonna be.
Some of them Or we can,
No,
if
that's
we
like
want
weekends
to
and stuff.
approve them, so that we don't have to approve them later.
Okay,
Remember, like Halloween, we want to approve this on the 25th.
Well, they already approved that one technically,
Yeah.
regardless, but yeah.
Christmas parade is a new one for this town. We would like to approve it for on December 7th. So these aren't just about, make sure you're,
Well, it'd be the first, not that particular day, just the first Saturday. It can't be the seventh every time.
what are the dates this year for when we can sell fireworks?
what?
June 20th through July the 4th.
Okay, so they'll be able to buy fireworks and pop fireworks the same day as our
Yes.
4th of July.
In the past, if we've had to
We-
change that outside of those perimeters, we can go in and,
Like,
No, I just,
like I just drought,
I,
can't do it.
yeah, of course, but I like it personally, that where people can pop their own fireworks at the same time we're doing our fireworks show, and we can sell them as well, since there's so much traffic right there.
The reason we went to 22nd on that is alternate be the 20, whatever the next weekend is.
Yeah, well, I like to have the weekend
Before Mustang too.
yeah, because it brings that traffic from other
Right.
towns.
Does that need to be
So
fixed?
what does the
But it-
Christmas parade need to be changed to?
No, I thought the first Saturday, I mean, it'll be the 7th this year, but
Yeah.
next year it might be,
Yeah.
well, whatever that is.
Well, this is
That's right.
2024 calendar,
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
you're right.
It's not forever. It's just this year.
all I need to know, yeah, it's gonna be right
This
again.
is off and this is not closed.
yeah, I'm scratching out.
Again, follow state holidays, and,
Any other additional time off, it's just vacation time?
yeah, sounds like a motion to me.
And approving the calendar, I guess, or no?
But if we do that, are we keeping Columbus Day that's currently in there, or are we gonna change the employee handbook to eliminate Columbus Day?
Why don't you reprint that?
I drive 6 days, no.
And then, you know,
Take
may
all
not have
day
a new
off.
printer.
A brand new one. You know what, I got some white out. What you will, gentlemen. Go for it.
Okay, I make a motion on 17A that we approve the Union City events, and we only accept the state of Oklahoma holidays, and if the employee wants to take off on the 23rd, and if we need to close the offices, we can do so, but they will need to use vacation time for the 23rd.
I have a motion, do I have a second? Motion and a second, all those in favor? Aye. Aye, motion approved.
No,
Chad.
Mr. Fisher seconded it.
oh, okay.
All right, moving on, finally.
Well, this may be under any and all due business, to help me remember, I would like to, and I don't know if you guys support the idea of starting a budget for the Christmas parade like we do the 4th of July. It would help all the expenses for all the marshmallows and the hot chocolate and all the different stuff that they have to purchase
So
at that
why
time.
don't we put that under, new business?
That's fine, or you can put it on the agenda for next month.
It'll be technically be on the next,
It'll be a next line item.
And then,
budget, right?
and to add to that, like currently when businesses donate money for the 4th of July, or donate items for the 4th of July, is that tax deductible to those businesses? Do we provide them anything that allows it to be tax deductible? Do we need to do anything, or just because they're donating to the town, does that allow
Give
it?
them something?
Well, I don't off on asking any business for donations, after finding them.
Yeah. And then, 'cause we can do the same thing at Christmas time, if people choose to donate towards
Yeah,
that
they,
account.
anytime they donate anything, they get
Yeah.
a fire or whatever. I don't think it happens anymore with all that standard protection crap, but,
Yeah.
You show them our new printer.
yeah. Print marshmallows.
We'll print out new stuff.
Happily print out a form for them if they want.
Number 18, Department of Union City payroll,
Nothing, I have nothing.
no action.
No.
Number 19, Department of Union City office manager.
You got my report.
I had your report, I saw it.
I don't have it here with me, but I just talked to, David Anderson, I wrote in my report about that ARPA money we got from the county. And he said they approved it and all, and I said, well, what do I need to do to get that money, or when will we get it? He said, I have to work with the VA to to get the money, so I feel I need to let him know, or let me know what I need to do, so, and actually talk to Lacey after the meeting, see if she has any info or wisdom for me to know exactly, because I feel like we need to get it submitted so we can get our money.
Absolutely.
And like I said, I'm hoping to work with that water billing company, hopefully this month, if I have some downtime, and find out about software. I want David to kind of sit on it too and get his input. And hopefully I can report to you next month about what that would be like.
Awesome, awesome. All right, 19A, REAP grant.
And I prepared on the generator one, David said it was all installed, everything was running and working. So I submitted the paperwork to get that money, and I talked to the company and told them as soon as we get that money, then we'll give them a check for it. There was 2 parts to be signed. I'm gonna hold on to the second part until we actually get that money and I deposit it, and then I'll send them the second part of completion, and we should be done with that.
Okay.
Hopefully it'll go pretty quickly.
Is this a small business or a larger company that?
Generator?
Trinity Circuit out of Tuttle.
I don't think it's huge.
I mean,
I talked to him about.
he's okay with us
anyway.
holding it for that length of time? I just don't wanna.
You have to.
He can't, he knew that.
Hmm?
We can't prepay it or we lose it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't prepay, and he knew that, and I told him that's why I was
Okay.
trying to get it in as quick as I could.
All right, as long as he
He said he was
understands.
fine with it.
Okay.
You did good work.
19B, closeout documents.
And that's the documents for that.
For the generator?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I think I should give you a copy of all of those.
Alright.
And that's big enough if we do get another building or, I don't know, whatever the case may be, it's gonna handle it.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to make sure of that, so.
Number 20, Department of Union City Court Clerk.
We're working at it. You know, I don't know if you know, but they've changed the laws on the warrants now, and it's added a lot more work to what we do in that office. Can testify to that. And so it's really nice to have a helper in there now because I wouldn't know if I had time to do all that myself.
Good.
Is she capable of like running this like
She
by
is
herself?
doing a
Like-
very good, yes, she's doing a very good job. Actually,
Everybody
that
wanted
is,
to take off?
that's a very, I would say it's a very hard place to work. It's a lot to remember. Like, she has really amazed me how well she caught on. I think she's made maybe one mistake, and she said, and it wasn't huge. And she was so hard on herself, like, oh my gosh, how did I make that mistake? Not a big deal.
I think it was my water bill.
Well, you had another zero.
But it's hard to find somebody who can change gears and remember, there's a lot to remember there. I mean, you know, Michelle knows it's the hardest thing to learn, especially when you have to do everything.
Alright.
I was impressed because you can't find many people that come in and learn quickly.
21, Mayor and Trustee reports.
I have one quick question back on the office manager report. Okay. On the ticket money transfers, like 17,000, that's what we collected.
That's the amount that went to the general, because we have to pay the cleat fees and the OSBI fees and the PC, we gotta pay a lot of fees out of that. That's what's left over after you tell your bills, which is lower than it normally is.
Yeah, it seems low, that's why I was asking.
Yeah,
How, on our collection side, is that number, the overall money owed to the town, does that number seem to be going up, or is it getting better? What are you seeing in that?
About level.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, our in money's what, between 28 and 34,000 a month-ish.
And do you still have an officer that's working on that time to time?
On
The collection
Warrant?
side, yeah,
On
Pat?
the warrant
No,
thing,
all that
that's all
stuff's
different.
changed, cause legislators went and legislated and made it difficult for everybody.
They made it easier on the people with the warrant.
Yeah.
Than we had it before.
Almost a more feet worth of it.
We can't do anything with the form. They have to come have a cost hearing and tell the judge how they can't pay their fines, and then the judge has to work with them, and it's a mess.
And like now, they can take their warrant down for $100, which in the past, we had them pay half the warrant to get the warrant taken down. So it was the state that did actually cut all the municipal money on those warrants. It made it easier for the people to have one. And now we have to send them all these
Which
letters.
legislator wrote this bill?
I'll give you a copy of it. if you
Please.
want it. Well, and the problem was, we had a lot of, I'm on the legislative committee, for the chief of police conference, and we had these discussions in October. You know, the law comes in November 1st, and we're having these discussions where nobody knows what's going on or how it's gonna happen. The Court of Criminal Appeals was supposed to create some forms that never happened till, end of November. I mean, it was a complete mess the whole time.
And
And
we're
there's
at-
a judge that was up in Ponca City that was kind of streamlining this thing, and he's supposed to put out some education on it.
And we're still at over like $2 million in owed money.
On warranty of.
Yeah. Just to give you an idea, like it's it's a lot. I mean, that money alone would be enough for us to build almost
But
an
even
entirely
doing
new town
collections,
hall.
even doing collections, there's so many loopholes, or so many hoops that we have to jump through before we can even assess collections on them. They have to, have a cost hearing, and 120 days from there, they have to get a notice, and it's a mess.
You know, road bounty hunters.
Bounty hunters.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
It's
It's made it a lot more.
anything legal. I'm a yes vote, cause it's just a lot of money hanging out
State got
there.
involved.
Huh?
The
Yeah.
state got involved. And you made us follow the state, just remember that.
Yeah.
Before I go.
But it's, man, they should go put lien on properties and
Used to be able
tax liens and
to do tax.
garnish checks and, huh?
Used to could do tax intercepts, can't do them anymore.
And then suspending their license, you said now we can't.
You can't suspend the license.
Not until you can, they have to go through a cost hearing, and then if they stop paying, then they have to go through a hearing that determines if they're willfully neglecting to pay, and then after that's done, then we can suspend their license. So they usually stop at one point, and
You
that's
know what the
where
problem
it
is,
is.
after a certain time, DPS won't suspend their license
Yeah.
because it's been too many.
And then it
days.
becomes a revolving circle, because they go back to a cost hearing, and it's a mess.
So if they don't pay their tickets, they.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not buying my tag no more. Catch me if you can.
The kid is out.
I can still get it impounded, right?
My wife will still be buying hers, don't worry.
Alright, so, number 21, mayor and trustee reports.
I don't have anything.
You don't have nothing, okay. Did you get me a copy of all of the businesses in Union City?
It's in your packet last
It is
page,
in-
yeah, and underneath code enforcement, I'm bringing one, I got one over here too.
And there may be some that are gonna add to the.
It's just a plain piece of paper, and it's the straight business is wrote down.
You'll get a copy of that next month.
It's on, it's on, Teresa.
Teresa? Oh, code enforcement? Mine's a single page.
I own a farm business for them, and I'm paying $100 for that.
That's a question for Teresa.
If I'm opening up farming business for my girls for 4-H reasons and FFA and all that stuff, am I paying $100 for that? But if it's a
9.
quote-unquote farm, then I
9
have a house,
businesses.
we sell it or whatever we decide to get.
You guys put the number, document numbers.
Okay, okay.
Apparently I lost Teresa's paper.
I know it's like that.
Process elimination.
Oh, okay.
And it was with Teresa? What was on the very front?
9.
I'm not sure how she put it in there. But you'll have at least that next month with addresses.
We're at
11.
Yeah, that's why I like to, yeah.
B11.
I thought you just said 9.
Well, oh, it says 9D.
Well, here's mine.
On 11. Who wrote that?
It's in her packet, her brief, the last page of her stuff.
For code enforcement?
Yeah.
That's all.
There it is.
Let me show you.
It was on the front page.
It looks like this.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Yeah, I don't make money this year, I don't make money.
All the donation people.
You can get paper, it looks like this.
Cause what I do is I print it off, run through, well, it could be our good printer we
I
have.
didn't get it.
You got it.
My wife runs the Amazon.
Look for 9D, 9D. Bingo. 9D.
I thought I saw it somewhere, there's. No, let's see right there.
No, it won't be on the back of that. It's supposed to be on the back of that, but I didn't get it either. We'll blame the old printer.
You can have mine, Bonnie.
Nope, I gave him his.
Does somebody need this? I don't know.
Yeah, it's good thing I'm on the call here. So I didn't need it.
We can just make quick copies, couple quick copies, couldn't we? Just the whole thing, you do that all we can. But here's the nine. Here it is, it's on the back of the ordinance, check the back of the ordinance.
Alright.
So now what are we looking at here?
The list of businesses, is Dale going to help you find yours?
What is this for?
Very much.
This is the list of the licensed businesses in Union City. How does this, hey Teresa,
Well, these are the businesses that have paid for a license.
hey Teresa,
Yes, sir.
this list that you provided, is this a list of the people that have paid for a license?
They have either turned in their application or they've already done their renewal.
Okay, it says licensed businesses, so. Alright.
There's a bunch missing.
What do you,
I have two more in there on my desk that will be finished this week.
We don't know until we approve for it tonight.
And today's been out of
So,
town.
do you have a list of the ones that you mailed out the letters to?
All of the new businesses have license or for renewal. It's the ones that were here prior to the grandfathering, so to speak, older businesses that are just now getting their new license. You guys, struck that from the code book where all of them are required to have different licenses.
say that again?
All of the newer in the last few years businesses that have come in all have current licenses or are up for renewal in the next couple months.
So
Older businesses such as like the Dairy Mart, 4D Storage, 152, I'm just using them for an example.
He's on here, he paid his.
Yeah, we've got applications for each of these. Ryan's laying on it, where it is.
But where's like ETI,
EIT.
or EIT, I mean, and then like
As a utility.
TDS, you got Cox on here.
Those are, yes, Cox Communications has two different business licenses that they submitted to provide to the community. It's worded a little bit different, I'll need to get with Tom as far as how to word that one for the utility providers, because there is some sort of.
Utility providers,
Yeah, there's a concession in there, talking
Did-
about
but-
different ones.
Did you bill Cox?
No, they came to me. They approached us when they wanted to come into the community, but they also went door to door. That is the purpose of one of those, to go door to door and offer their services. Same thing with DirecTV or any of those that go door to door soliciting bids. Or the alarm companies that come out and do that, different ones. There's different requirements.
now,
What about the new company over here behind Love's that's building the?
Horizon
Yeah,
Ag.
Horizon Ag, they're not on here either.
They are not on there because they've
Well,
not paid their,
I'm sorry, I just seen them
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, they've not paid their fee.
They haven't paid their fee?
There's several more that'll be on your February report, because this is strictly December's. That's all you have on there is December's.
now, Tom,
Yes.
my question was, it was said that there were several of them that were grandfathered before. And once we took that grandfathering clause out of the ordinance, that changed. Did we take grandfathering out of the ordinance?
Not since I've been here.
Tom, you guys brought that to Tom. That all started with this piece of property down here, Rick Brothers, about that stuff being allowed to be on the property.
But there was never a grandfather clause.
It wasn't as ordinance, I think, but it was in there. We had to take it out so that he wouldn't say he was still grandfathered in on different things.
You had to take it out?
We did the way Tom advised it. I'd have to go back and look at your minutes, I'm sorry, I've been knee deep in other stuff.
Did we,
Don't know exactly how it's
do you
worded.
remember that, Tom? That we took out
It was his wording. And I can provide it in a minute for you next month. I'll pull it up, that way you guys can see exactly how that was worded. And Michelle's got it too. I'll just make sure that it's in your packet.
Was there ever a grandfather clause in effect in Union City?
See, that's what I'm saying, I'm not aware of any grandfather clause on business licenses in Union City.
I mean, on anything.
No.
Prior boards have advised to direct strictly to new business. When that was approached, like, okay, what about this one, when we started collecting on the business licenses. But this board has went in, and that's where you guys took out anything, you know, that came back at me that they said they were grandfathered in.
So I can't put a single one on my sister's property, even though there was one on there?
No, you cannot, nor can I, or anyone else. You either. Once they're removed, they're gone. And it's easy once business is closed down and there's something new comes in, it's easy for that to be a new one. But the ones that were there in prior years. And I don't wanna pick on anybody from the prior.
Well, I would like
How I was
to,
advised.
go pretty in depth on this, Tom, if we can, and get a description, everything set up. That way, you know, if you're required to have a business license, you should have one. If you're not, you shouldn't. And I don't know anybody that owns a skating rink.
There's an entire chapter
So,
devoted to this.
It's starting to feel like one.
But now that you guys all have code books that you could go in there and see that, all you've gotta do is start emailing me or reach out to me and we'll start putting together what you guys would like to, how you'd like that reworded.
Are we still finding the other people that haven't paid yet, if the city still don't even know what's going on?
well, that's my question, Tom, are we
Shouldn't we get what we're doing as the city before we send a note out saying we're gonna find citizens and business owners?
We have to give them an opportunity to come forward.
Well, I get that, but we've already tried this, this is another letter that a business owner's got threatened, and the city has no idea where we even stand as a city on the idea. It's just common sense to me.
Or whenever you send out letters, do they always include, if you're not here by this date, we're gonna fine you, or how does that
You're
work?
subject to fine, their appearance before the judge. Then it's ultimately, it goes before the judge, it's up to him whether he finds them or not, or whether he gets more time.
Okay,
Or dismissal.
well, fair enough.
I prepare and bring,
Yes,
actually,
ma'am,
Adam's
good.
the one that writes the citations, we bring it to the judge.
What's your take on that, Tom? How, is that the way that should be working?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
and we
That's
have,
what I say, I think we can clarify that so that there's never a question, or there shouldn't be a question, that the ambiguity should be eliminated, and, you know, either you're required to have a license, and if you don't have a license, you're gonna get fined if you don't, if you don't have one, or if you don't renew it, or you don't have to have a license, and that's what I'm saying, I think if we clarify that ordinance, there'll never be a question about it.
yes,
I agree. And there are some home businesses that don't even require a state license, and I'm not quite sure how that is, like a home bakery, things like that.
You got Coach Griggs on here for Bullet Back Company.
Because he's operating a business out of his home. and he's advertising, he's selling at tournaments, he's
I would say that.
selling here in town.
No, I agree that it should make.
But I mean,
a
like,
difference.
if you're selling
He
like
didn't agree with that, he
but-
didn't agree with that.
But we got people making T-shirts out of their house, how's
Yeah.
that? I mean,
Exactly.
If that's not a,
And Stanley
if that's not a
sells,
legitimate business in the state, like, if they're paying cash or Venmo, I mean, you're not even registered with the state, it's
It's just,
a hobby.
or an
So, like,
Avon,
what,
or Tupperware, or Scentsy, those kinds of things.
I mean, do we have any cannabis grows left in?
No.
And none, they're all gone, don't see any of them on there either.
Last one closed, when he closed, October?
He finally surrendered the last of his stuff in December.
What's the purpose of the city charging $100 for a business permit other than kind of stifling entrepreneurship?
I feel like $100, I mean, it isn't that bad personally, but.
Yeah, most towns do, I mean, this is an ordinance that we have, I mean, it's already in there, we would have to bring it up to remove it if we were gonna look at doing that. What we're looking at here is the fact that some people have been held accountable to pay it and some people have not, and that's the frustrating part is, why have some been,
I'd be willing to close a business over $100.
yeah.
Well, I think a little of it is to keep some riffraff out too,
Yeah.
because you have to have your
Well,
insurance.
if
you
you have
also
a-
dwindle down to farming.
Yeah, if you have a business, coming in, that applies for a business license, there's usually, time associated with that. And that's why your bigger cities do it, is because they have to employ people, specifically for keeping up with all of their paperwork and holding them accountable and all them kind of things. That's why most cities charge it, but,
And that's another question, Tom. Ryan just said about farming. Is a farm considered a business?
ag's usually exempt from these types of things, but.
Most agricultural activities are school-related, as such as in FFA, 4-H.
But is
They're
it-
normally exempt.
Is it exempt in our book? That's
There's
the
some
question.
wording in there unless it has to do with school projects, things like that. But that's some more that can also be clarified. For somebody you're talking about,
Yeah.
starting at this farm for his kids for.
Is there not a way to go to the state and request a list of all of the businesses operating within Union City?
The thing about that is basically it's town proper, most of them are gonna have a Reno address. The ones out.
Yeah, like Metro Electric, we're supposed to have to hire them in to be my electrician.
So,
They're supposed to have a license. to work in the city.
if their business doesn't do sales tax, so they don't have a sales tax permit, are they required to have a business permit?
I don't know, I think that's the thing we need to clarify.
We run a hot shot company out of a barn, since we live on 5 acres and it's zoned agriculture and it's an LLC. These are questions that we need to, in here before we send out letters stating these things.
Boy, look at
So,
that dog.
if you would, dig into that, I would sure appreciate it, and kind of reach out to me and let me know.
Well, and unfortunately, these are the things that I mean, even though it's way easier to let them lie, we either have to do it.
There ain't no
we have to-
cafe on there.
We have to
We
do
need
it.
a cafe.
We either need to do away with it, we either need to do away with it, which is hard to do, because there is a cost associated with, our cost and expenses for that business, but, at the same time, this is the kind of stuff that's gotta be fixed. It's gotta be an even playing field, and it has to be fixed, and we have to address it.
Willing to sell properties like that, like.
That's
All
another one
right.
of those chapters I've been begging for years for clarification.
Number 22, no action. Number 23, Ryan Dawson.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Wait a minute. How can we adjourn and then open up to new business? Do we have any new business?
No, I don't.
Do you have any new business? All right. Number 23, adjournment.
You shot it all fast there, Bobby.
23 is adjournment of executive session,
Oh.
25 is adjournment.
All right.
Number 25. I make a motion to adjourn the actual meeting this time.
The adjournment of the actual meeting this time at 8 o'clock straight up.